Hello, how's it going? I am Godless Sewing. I'm going to run around. How are you doing today, Commander?
All right, because Elvis is everywhere. There's actually a song called that. I don't know whether or not we can play it without getting the stream taken down, but after the stream is over, you should go and Google it.
Elvis is everywhere, indeed. Indeed.
It goes, Elvis is everywhere, man. Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is everywhere, man. And then he even talks about how Elvis is in everyone and even the anti Elvis, and that Elvis needs ships, and you got Admiral Elvis. And it's just one of those wonderful, funny, ridiculous songs from like the late 70s or early 80s.
Mojo Nixon is from the. Do you know what's funny? Excuse me. I didn't discover him until high school, so I really don't know what era he's from.
I'm just guessing the way people were dressed in that, it looks like the 70s or 80s.
But he played all the way up until the 2000s, though.
And Kinky and God, who's the other one? Willie Nelson still play.
Hey, Pam, how's it going? How's it going? I'm just setting up. It's a bit of a mess in here. Hi, Pam. It's a bit of a mess in here because I have the table behind me. I'm gonna show off the
And
table first.
and at Allison's restaurant, you can have anything you want except for Allison.
Now that's a t-shirt. Now that is definitely a t-shirt.
That's a anti-war song from the 60s. The the
Yay!
guy the guy never thought that he might actually get in trouble for dumping shit in the over the edge of the road. There's some funny songs from a different era.
I love Mojo Nixon. Hey Ollie, how's it going? How's it going? I actually on my other channel I have a few one Mojo Nixon song. Oh man,
We
it's gonna
got Mojo Jojo.
Machines Ain't Music is a great song too. And he sings about the San Diego tank guy too. The guy who stole a tank from Camp Pendleton.
Oh, I remember watching that on TV. It was incredible.
Insane.
Down in Florida where I was, there was a National Guard depot that would drive by on a regular basis, maybe once or twice a week or something like that. And they had the tanks and stuff. Never imagined one of those running through the streets until then.
Well, they're unstoppable if you really think about it. Just with regular civilian gear, they're actually unstoppable. They had to call the base to figure out how to stop the guy.
And then he ran up on top of a median and the tank got stuck. And then they climbed in there,
Oh
opened the hatch, and shot him.
no, Pam, and I asked her too. I was like, it came from a neighbor. And I drove by and I told myself, like, you do not need any more junk in your house, says the man who was driving to Walmart. Because I needed Drano and softener, and I ended up buying a bunch of more stuff. So when I came back from Walmart, the table was still there, and she helped me put it in my car. It's actually kind of a semi-funny story. I'll wait for everyone to pile in. It's been a really eventful day, actually.
I got a new car,
What kind of car did you get, Commander? That's awesome.
a 2023 Toyota Camry hybrid.
That's awesome. I had a friend who owned a hybrid.
Basically, I got 8 years to enjoy it before the warranty on the battery expires. At that point, I'm pretty sure it's gonna die.
8 years is a long time. Oh crud. Sorry. Technology doesn't want to cooperate sometimes.
And then
Sorry.
Monday, I got to call the student loan people and set up a payment because this month is when the payments start, and they don't even have my current address. So all the mail they sent me.
Oh, really quickly, to anyone watching this in the future, I want to welcome you and thank you. Welcome to the Godless Sewing Channel. Here at the Godless Sewing Channel, we're all over the place, but I'll get to my disclaimer eventually. But I have, let's see, a table behind me. Oh, that worked. I have a table behind me.
It looks like a sewing table. Could it
And
possibly be that?
I wish there was a sewing machine. And I asked her too, like, hey, where's the sewing machine? But she was doing it as an Art Deco project. So there's a little bit of work that has to go into the table. I saw VW Buell that was parking on a tank run. He was told several times, do not do that, and even worked on the base. The line of tanks thrown over his car. Yikes. The spring still work. Oh, I'm already a mess. A sweaty mess. So the top is trashed. I think she tried to make her own top. It's extremely uneven. But like I used to say in my old videos, aren't we all? This table needs help, like all of us, right? You know, I was gonna put this on the side of my house, but I put it in my living room. But Pam made a comment, and I was like, you know what? I should bring it. I should definitely bring this out. But I wanted to show this off before I took it out of here. Yeah. Are you hey Kilroy, how's it going? How's it going? Commander, are you the picker type? Hey Kilroy.
Used to
Hey.
be, and then had a house fire, and then realized I didn't need a ton of shit, and I didn't want a ton of shit because the ton of shit just keeps you planted right where you are, and at some point I might want to move or leave or. But I had a machine shop in the garage. I would enjoy bulk garbage day tremendously. Go to flea markets. I collected stuff like you.
I have a habit. My real problem is that I have a bunch of places where I can hide stuff. And like I told you, there's certain rooms where I'm the only one that has a key to it. And I have my truck. I've been putting stuff in the back of my truck that doesn't work. I'm a mess. But the funny thing is, I told Commander this story. Actually, before I tell this story really quickly.
Oh, the disclaimer.
I have to find it because I finally put it to
The
paper.
views and opinions expressed are not that of the Godless Sewing Channel. They are that of the participants. And if you're a big baby and you can't handle it, we got exits on both sides because we're all grown adults. Everyone has opinions and everyone has assholes, and we just have to deal with it. Hi, Skits, how you doing?
Here, there. Nope, that's still not it. I take a lot of notes because I'm extremely. Okay, good. Do you know what's funny? Ever since my update, whenever anyone texts me, I get a text on 6 or 7 different devices. Hey, Joy, hello. Yes, Skits, it's my new sewing table that I picked up off the street. I am proud. I take strays home. I'm about to take that sign off and put it on myself in a minute. So you have the home hoard, the work hoard, and the truck hoard. The truck is embarrassing, but I'm man enough to admit it. The truck is embarrassing because I emptied it when I was gonna tow it. But long story short, because the tags were a year old, the guy wouldn't tow it. But he said on the thing that he would do it, and then he got to my house and said he couldn't tow it. And you
I
can
had a
imagine.
friend who had expired tags and he wanted me to like drive 2 feet behind him down the fucking highway to try to hide the fact that he didn't have, you know. And I was like,
Yay, hello.
what do you want me to get arrested along with you?
Well, it's different if you're getting it towed than if you're driving. If you're driving it, that's you willfully that's you admitting that you know your tags are expired, even if you play dumb. But this program is intended for entertainment purposes only, and the content is not intended to malign any religion, company, individual, race, or wigs. Let me switch my candle. Really, my candle. Yikes! It's gonna be that kind of night. My camera. Whoops. There we go. All opinions expressed by Godless Sewing and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the personal views of every human being on planet Earth and all that other stuff that Commander said. So, without further ado, the lunch car is open. I hope everybody has a great evening flying Godless Sewing Airlines. And you know what's really funny, Pam? I thought of you when I grabbed that table because I was like, I bet Pam would have grabbed that table. Let me go back to my ankle. I'm really proud of my more than the fact that I made so about I want to say about 2 months ago. You know, time kind of flies. It's probably a while ago, probably sooner. I don't know. So I'm out in front of my house. I'm working on my truck, and I see one of my neighbors walking down the street, and they're newer to the neighborhood, and I could tell. And long story short, she saw me and she turned around and left my cul-de-sac. I live in a cul-de-sac, and I live in a yuppie area, so people are always biking and walking around here. And long story short, I pulled up to her house, and the same woman who was scared of me was all too willing to help me get that in my car. She was no longer scared of me. So I made a friend, and she did not have a sewing machine. She was doing it for an Art Deco project because I live around yuppies. Stewardess, I would like a godless scotch and soda. It'll be right up. It'll be right up. It's gonna need a little bit of work, and I can tell that she tried to do a lot of like she just basically didn't know what she was doing, and it didn't have the look that she wanted in her house. So now I have another sewing table. And I have a what I want to call like an IKEA style sewing table in my truck right now. It's in the non-operable truck, but it's literally has the letters on it like it would at IKEA. I think it actually is an IKEA sewing table because it's really cheaply made. It has that weird IKEA wood to it. You know what I'm saying, Commander?
Well, I don't have any IKEA furniture, but I do know what it looks like.
IKEA is just really fancy balsa wood.
makes me want to get a CNC router and pop out counterfeit IKEA.
It's really it's ah, I am 50-50 on IKEA. I don't know how a lot of people feel about IKEA, but this particular, like, I have a Singer sewing table that I took from my grandmother's house. That thing is solid. I can stand on that thing and surf on it. If I did that with my IKEA sewing table, I would smash it. Today in 1942, the Iron Sheik was born. In 1960, Hugh Grant was born. 1948, North Korea was founded. And in 1956, Elvis appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show for the first time. Awesome.
That was one of the places where the omnipresence of Elvis was felt.
Where I'm from, we have a saying, you don't ever want to follow Elvis. That's part of my obsession with Elvis because I grew up with people always saying, you never want to follow Elvis. Because they were literally talking about the Ed Sullivan Show. Because does anyone remember, without Googling it, who followed Elvis on the Ed Sullivan Show? Does anybody on the top of their head? Or presser board held together? Exactly, Alibaba. It's cheap. It's just super cheap. Most of my sewing room is IKEA. Lots I got from Facebook Marketplace. You know what? I'm not dogging it because just like that table, I took that table home. I much like which will be surprised to no one, I buy sewing tables. Even if they're empty. And still to this day, there's one that I let my son talk me out of that I'm still mad about. Fancy balsa wood that smells vaguely of me. You know what's really funny? I have a very specific smell, and this had a different smell. It smelled like her house. And it's not a bad thing, but every human being, like, we all have different smells. So it's gonna take a minute for that to get acclimated to this room. IKEA stuff is surprisingly tough. It's the knockoff IKEA that you would get from Walmart. You know what? You know what? You're so right. You are 100% right, Kilroy. Because I think that now that I think about it, that table could have come from Walmart because it has the letters on it. And quite honestly, I just don't like putting that stuff together.
You
And it's hard to do.
know, it's also the level of care the people who counterfeit it put into it. Because I'm pretty sure that if I were to counterfeit IKEA, I'd at least give you a good product.
And I'm trying not to dog it too much. If you see any of my videos, if you see me randomly sitting in the middle of this room with a sewing table, it's that table. I use it all the time. You know, I'm not dogging IKEA at all. I get stuff from IKEA, but not the furniture. They had strange stuff. I saw a two-seater couch that could lift with one hand lever from one end. Wow. I literally have a 300-pound I have a 300-pound sofa behind that flag. I need a lightweight chair like that. So you're not an IKEA fan, huh, Commander?
Well, I just never bought it. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan or I'm a fan or I
Yeah.
just don't have an opinion of it.
I kind of have a harsh opinion, but that's because I'm hard on stuff and things break on me. And so I'm like, oh, that stuff, no, you shouldn't get that. But the truth is, they have really good cabinets. It just depends on what you buy. And like what Kilroy said, it's the knockoff stuff. I'm starting to think that my sewing table's probably from Walmart. You know, I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna look to see if it has any markings or anything because most things are marked. Presser board is horrible. Exactly, exactly. And for me, it's just the wear and tear over time. But like, I built my own cabinets to hold the sewing machines because I knew I had to use real wood. Because I have a Kenmore. Of course, it's at the bottom of the shelf, but it's one of the heaviest sewing machines I've ever had. I think I weighed it on a video, so I don't want to tell stories, but it's in the 40 something pound range. It's extremely heavy. But in the 2 or 3 years of videos, I put it on a scale just to see how much it weighed. But with my lighting, all you saw was a red screen. So I'm like half waiting
And
for
I
an
I've
Amazon.
made
Oh,
knockoffs aren't always bad. It's the amount of effort you put into it.
true. I bought a knockoff workbench from Harbor Freight, and I still use it at work. So yeah, some knockoffs are good. I grew up on malted meal. I'm not talking trash about knockoffs.
And
I
the second shipyard that I wound up working in, when we did not have the maritime industry being, we also took other work. So we would get people bringing heavy equipment
Mhm.
in and saying, fix this. And they bring in pieces of shit or it would be broken. And we'd basically make the parts needed. And a lot of times, what we gave them was a heck of a lot better than the original condition of the equipment that they sent us.
Pam, I didn't go as crazy today, but I found out a lot of good stuff about that fabric. I bought a giant 11-yard roll. So I have two giant rolls of that fabric, and he's gonna give me a decent price for the entire roll. I just do not walk around with that much cash on me in downtown Los Angeles. When I go downtown, I give myself a certain amount of money in my pocket. So in case I get jumped by 15 people, they're only gonna walk away with a couple bucks. And he's not the kind of guy that has a scanner, a card scanner. But I got this. I want to read. Harbor Freight stuff is actually good nowadays. A lot of stuff they sell is as good as the stuff Home Depot and Lowe's sells. I've said it a million times. Like I have like two huge Harbor Freight rollaways in here, and I can't tell the difference between them or my Husky ones. Is Husky from Home Depot or Lowe's?
Well,
I
when I
can't.
did the machining, I would have a good Minatoyo travel indicator, and then for like anything that I would shock the indicator, I would just use the cheap Harbor Freight indicators because I'd go through one of those a month easy, and I'd keep my good stuff intact for the really sensitive stuff
I'm the same way.
or stuff that didn't hurt it.
I have a Harbor Freight arc welder that I've used. And honestly, it's better. It's the Chicago brands or whatever, and it's better than the name brands. It's lasted longer, and I got it from Harbor Freight. And every time I pull it out, someone's like, "Oh, it's cheap." It's outlasted everything else. From what I've seen, there's been a lowering of quality, even from the expensive and store brands. Yes, they do have good stuff, just more lower now. I agree. I agree. Have to be picky and well informed. I agree. Speaking of which, I walked up on this young man today, and my godless patch has kind of infuriated him, I think. But I bought this beautiful material from the guy, and he was so unimpressed. So this is exactly 4 yards. This is like exactly 4 yards. It's I'm gonna work with it. It's a little bit more thin than the other stuff, as you can see. You can totally see through that. But I bought a bunch of backing, so I'm gonna work with it and see what happens. I'm stoked though. And I bought another. Oh, this this is 11 yards. And the funny thing is, he gave it to me for like an 8 yard price, and it was so heavy that when I was carrying it out, it broke the stick and went limp. So
1990s Miami shower curtain material.
I
It's
am
cool.
obsessed with that 90s print. I am obsessed with it. I am going to buy that entire roll. I am sadly determined to buy that entire roll. I think a lot of people are hard on stuff too for no reason. Sorry, I got to keep an eye out. I take care of my stuff so it lasts. Whereas I see people be extremely hard on expensive porting exactly and break it for weeks. Do you know what's really funny? I have a lot of audio visual equipment in this room, and as long as I take care of it, it's going to last forever. This mic, I don't even know how old this mic I'm talking to you on is, but it's been well taken care of, so it still works. The amp that I'm talking to you through, I almost bought some Totally Sparks from Walmart, but resisted and didn't get it. Was so pretty. The whole roll. He wanted a you know what? His price was shockingly high. But the math is in my favor if you really think about it, because I'm buying it in increments and he's giving me extra, extra, extra. So next week I might go there. Well, I keep on saying I'm not going to go, but why lie? Next week I'm going to go there and be like, give me 20 yards. Then I'll wait and come back and be like, give me 25 yards, please. I'm eventually just going to buy the entire roll. I have a ton of plans. That's how I'm going to start my sewing empire.
What you really need is like a sewing factory on top of a mountain with lightning, and you can just go outside and go, ha 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 ha.
Commander, it's really ironic
If
that
I
you.
ever was rich, if I was ever rich, I wanted to build a fortress of doom on top of a mountain.
It's really ironic that you would say that, because this particular place is this is like my 6th or 7th week going in a row because I'm weirdly consistent. So it's on 8th Street in this really like semi-scary part of town. So I park, I get out, and I look up, and the building, and it kind of makes sense because I'm like, where are these guys getting all this fabric? The building that they're in used to be a sweatshop, because it says, I took a picture of it and it says, "Hey, Seraphim, how's it going?" Um, and it used to be a sweatshop, and it said sewing factory for sale. And part of me wants to call it and be like, if I buy this building, can I get all the sewing machines? I wouldn't even hire anybody. I would just geek out on all the sewing machines. Yay. Hello, Seraphim. How are you? How are you? I need a whole separate house. Thank you. And like, I keep on saying I want to live in a warehouse like MacGyver, but the older I get, I want to live in a warehouse like MacGyver. Season 4 MacGyver, or whatever the last season was, when he lived in Venice, which now would be like a $20 million warehouse.
When I retire, I want to have
Yay.
a full machine shop and just make did did anyone ever see that episode of Donald Duck where Donald Duck had the model railroad in the background and he was spazzing out that everything was needed to be to scale, and he wanted to cut down Chippendale's tree and they gave him hell?
Yes, I do remember. I obsessively watched all the old school cartoons as a kid. That's all we had.
I once had a full machine shop in my garage, and I want that again. because I want to be able to make stuff that frankly I couldn't afford otherwise, and that stuff that no one else has.
Give me one quick second. I'll be right back.
Hello, hello. Hello, beautiful people. Let's see.
War. War never changes. And we are the Galactic Penguin Federation, NASA's enforcers. We rain fire on our enemies and fight hand to hand across the galaxy. We are ever seen, yet we are never seen in our fight for liberty. We will kick down any door and fight any secret societies.
I knew it. She's a lizard person.
My name, Commander 401. And this is how we handle our problems.
You gotta step up and beat that bully with a stick.
Just filling the airtime, folks. You wouldn't believe how long that actually took for 45 seconds worth of that awesomeness. Probably multiply each second by a half hour. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I don't so. I should. I mean, my grandfather turned a tailor shop into a factory and retired with 300 grand.
Yay. Thank you, Commander. It wasn't who I expected, but they came bearing food, so I'm not angry. If you come to my
The
house,
almighty bearers of the yummies.
oh, it smells so good. So I'm not going to be mad about it. Pam, part of me is like, well, if I bought a warehouse, my son would get his own floor. And I ask him, I'm like, you want to live in a warehouse? He's like, yeah, let's be irresponsible.
Remember when Bart bought a factory at auction for a couple bucks?
That's what it would literally be. I almost peeked in it too, because I am so curious to see if the sewing machines are still there. But if you were a major manufacturer, wouldn't you take your equipment with you?
Probably, unless of course I was all planning on getting new equipment.
Because I'm extremely brave, and I've walked into many sweatshops, and it's eerie when you walk into a building and there's just rows and rows of sewing tables. I mean, like 300 or 400 in a room. It's eerie, but I've never seen one with with sewing machines intact. So I'm really curious if this place still has the sewing machines in it. I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna call them and see what they say, because it's a huge. Once I looked around, I'm like, oh my gosh, this building is the entire block. So it used to be a major manufacturer, but downtown LA is nothing but has been. Is nothing used to be this or used to be that, built on top of something else. Excuse me, built on top of something else. So you see old ran down buildings all the time in downtown LA. It's nothing new.
Well, what you do is you buy it and then you put a sign on it, Godless Sewing's Playhouse.
I'm really mad because they were selling a building near the freeway by my house, and I was like, if I bought that and in my really stuffy town put Godless Sewing Industries on the building, they would lose it. They would sue me if I put the word Godless on a building that overlooked the freeway. My town is weird like that. They made a law where you're not they no dispensaries are allowed to be in my town, but a Canadian company came in and bought property in the industrial center of my town, and they're making shatter, which is really condensed pot. And we're like, if we can't have shops here, but they can make it here, that doesn't make sense. Well, it does because it's about money. I used to want a big house, but then I had to look at reality and see that there's no way just I alone could keep up even with a small house. That happened to my grandmother. She lived in a mansion, and then when she got older, she was literally just by herself in this ginormous house. I bet the machines are gone, taking her, or yeah, you're right. You're right. It's my my hope. I've gotten really lucky at being a picker in my life, and so part of me is like I keep I there's some hope there, you know. Oh, I have a dog. I forgot I had a third. Oh, I forgot I had a third roll back there. Oh, excuse me. I'm working on turning my second bedroom into my classroom office. You will not regret it. I turned mine into a closet and it let every family member know they can't live here and ex-girlfriend. I also have my blue tongue stink tank in there. Is that like a is that like an indoor jacuzzi? Is that tacky that I've always wanted an indoor jacuzzi?
No, because I don't want one, and I couldn't find a place here anyway. But I mean, there have been times I wanted an indoor pool or dreamt of an indoor pool.
Well, I used to work for this place called Service Master. We would like fix water damage. After the fire department would come in, the fire department does hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage when they're putting out the fire. And that just comes with the territory. Don't have a fire at your house. But it wasn't
But
just
the fire will do hundreds of thousands of dollars of
exactly.
damage too. So
If your house is on fire, you're it's left or right. You're already done. But I worked with that company, and we fixed this man's jacuzzi that was slowly leaking into his carpet. And I walked into his house, and I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing." Keep in mind, he was probably in his 20s. I was like 17. I'm in my 40s now, and it's impractical, but it's something it's feasible. But now they have really cool ones. They have inflatable ones. I don't think the apartment complex would appreciate me adding a jacuzzi. They have inflatable ones now, though, that come with all the equipment.
you just got to make sure that your floor can take it. Because wouldn't that be funny? You're in your apartment, you got your indoor jacuzzi, and then lo and behold, creak, creak, snap, and then your jacuzzi is now in the downstairs neighbor's apartment,
It
and the
happens.
water is in the apartment below that one.
It happens often. It happens often. I want one of those showers. Have you ever seen? They're meant for seniors, but they have a door, and it basically turns your shower into a giant like pool jacuzzi thing.
Yes, I've
I've
seen that.
always wanted one. I have I have always wanted one of those. I'll be 40 next year. I kind of
Now,
want a big party. 40. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club next year. They're
now,
amazing, right?
if I were designing a shower, you'd have a shower just long enough where you could easily lie down in it, and you'd have multiple faucets at multiple shower heads, and it would just be like you know if you're going to do something like that, overdo it.
Oh, I left my hat on the hat rack. I'm so respectful that when I see my mother, I take my hat off. I want one of those so bad, Alibaba. I want one of those so bad. But for that very reason is one of the reasons I haven't installed it. And if I had to, I would have to put it in my son's bathroom, the front bathroom. Because my shower has 2 shower heads. I'll be right back. Oh. I got really bored one day and I installed a second shower head in my bathroom. So I have a Vegas style shower in my bathroom where I can literally stand like this and get hit with 2 shower heads. Are you a fancy shower kind of person, Commander?
Well, let's just say after a long day's work, it's nice to relax. And what's irritating is if you have a nice temperature shower, but you basically have to be under it where it is. Whereas if you had multiple shower heads, you could just be anywhere in the tub and not freeze your butt off.
They had a shower with 8 heads on the curved closed. Oh my gosh. I would be standing there like this. It's glorious. I got bored one day and put in a second shower head. It's one hell of a. We were repiping my house, and I was like, that would be crazy. And they were like, all it is 2 elbows and a left and a right. And I was like, can I please have 2 elbows left and a right? And I tiled it myself, and I have 2 shower heads in there. It's gonna add a ton of money when I resell the house. Good times though. I went a little crazy at the patch shop today in downtown. And Gilroy, I was not kidding when I said, looking for the angle, that I said that they sell fuzzy hooters. This is a patch. YouTube, this is a patch. It's intended for art. This is literally a patch. See, there's sticky stuff on the back, but this is like carpet material. It's the strangest thing. I got this as well. I could not have gone to downtown Los Angeles anymore without buying this patch. Do you see it, Commander?
What's on it?
It's
I
Jesus.
know it's like a JC.
But it looks like that guy from Princess Bride. Not the guy who's like, my name's Inigo Montoya. I'm here to avenge my father. But this kind of looks like the other guy from Princess Bride, don't you think? Now you can't unsee it. He looks like the guy
I
from
never
Princess
saw Princess Bride.
Kilroy thinks that Jesus looks like Johnny Depp. I totally like. The problem is, I'm going to tell you, sometimes not everybody has a sense of humor. And so I'll say things like, I told the guy, I was like, oh, how old are you? And he's like, oh, we're around the same age. And I told him, I'm like, don't you think that looks like the person from Princess Bride? And they were like, I don't think that's funny. And I'm like, I think that's hilarious. And of course, I got a tiger because I have to put it on the front of my work jacket because I have the tiger on the back. So I have to complete the cycle. I bought these roses. These are machine made, but they're kind of beautiful to me. They're really intricate, but they're made with scrap material, I can tell. So I bought a couple of those. And I bought this.
That's nice. It reminds me of the tiki 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 room in the tiki 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 room. All the birds sing words and the flowers bloom. Disney don't eat the stream.
Oh, be careful. They are literally suing Spectrum and Disney are fighting right now. I do not have any ESPN channels. So they are suing everybody right now. Just found out one of my cats locked himself in the closet. Cats are clever. They're good for that. But I was thinking about putting Inigo Montoya's arch nemesis on the back of my Godless Sewing, one of my Godless Sewing vests. I think I'm going to take the cat off and put this on. But every time I do something like this, it causes a lot of controversy. And someone says something to me like that time the man yelled Romans at me when I was in line with my biker vest on. Or a rotary saw blade. Meh, you have a radio. You can make do without ESPN. Also, I have like really obscure channels. I went searching last night. I ended up watching horse racing and a monster truck rally. So I have really obscure channels. Happy is a bit daft. He is cute, but stupid. Aw, poor kitty. Ah, the old-fashioned way, Kilroy. I still listen to Dodger games on the radio. But I prefer, like, for some reason, the people on the radio are the old school people, and they have new guys on the television. So I don't know if the old school guys got demoted just because they're older, but so I listen to it on the radio.
Didn't you know the ladies in the entertainment industry, they have a little chip inside their hand, and then when they turn 25, some people haul them away, and something prettier is not prettier but younger is put in their place because the entertainment industry is superficial and stupid.
So sports still to this day, I scream at my television when they say, "Oh, he's getting old. He's 29 or 30." Like, if you want to see me run across the room like the Ultimate Warrior, I can't stand it when they say that. Do you know what's funny at my age? Like, to me, 30 is young. And there's nothing wrong with being young. I'm just saying. I like baseball on the radio better. You know, I'm in my car a lot too. Do you know what I got hooked on was listening to hockey on the radio? Because I would always be in my car, and when the Kings are on the East Coast, all the games start at 5 o'clock. Well, I'm in my car around that time. So I just began the habit of listening to it on the radio. Radio broadcasting requires more experience and expertise than TV broadcasting. That's why the old guys are on the radio. Charlie Steiner from old ESPN's on it. I love that guy. He's like, I've literally watched him my entire life.
I gotta learn how to talk and announce better and not stutter and work out all of my speech pathology problems.
You know what though? I had I had speech therapy as a kid, and I even still struggle with it. It's feasible though. It's feasible. Games are great on old large wood cabinets, tube radios, and mono speaker. Do you know what's really funny? There's one that's been at my local Goodwill. I mean, I could walk there from here. They want a couple $100 for it, but it's missing a bunch of parts. And with something like that, it's literally like 100-something years old. And I know why no one's buying it. Because, you know, nobody wants to deal with replacing the parts. And people cruise my town because it's a yuppie. That particular Goodwill is where it's really weird. They send the really expensive stuff to that one by my house. So it's a really yuppie Goodwill. So today, when I was leaving downtown, I have video of it. Do you know it's sad when I looked at this cop in his eye, and he couldn't have been older than 22, 23 years old. But as I was leaving, and I have it on tape, So it's not even like there's anything crazy. It's not like I'm telling stories, but I made a left as I was leaving, and this you do, Seraphim, you do, you really do. I always like that. You're not just being nice. I love the rich people Goodwills. That's where all the and they sell stuff at a good price there too. So as I'm leaving, there's a cop literally driving like 10 miles under the speed limit. And like I have a theory, if you're driving crazy around the cop like that, you don't have insurance or a license. So I come steaming up, and the cop comes. There's a car in front of me, and the cop slowly passes me, but they veer into my lane, and then the guy slowly veers in and out of my lane, and I pull up next to him, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, a bit swervy there, huh? He didn't say a word to me. Oh, Seraphim, you have a great voice. You do. You have a great voice. But this young man was in both lanes. What am I supposed to do? But he was looking at me crazy because I gave him a lot of distance behind him. But he's driving slowly and he's blocking both lanes. What am I supposed to do, you know? And cops are funny that way. Does anything like that happen in your town, Commander?
Not that I notice, because I keep to myself here.
Well, it's a little bit different in downtown because
And
that's where their base is. That's literally their home base is there. So there's and that's it's still downtown. It's a really sketchy area. LA is a funny place. If something's considered a sketchy area, you will have a cop every 2 seconds and still a ton of crime.
well,
Oh, that's right.
also,
I was gonna sew my stinky pants. Let me clear my table. I forgot about those. Sorry, go ahead, Commander.
just from like driving trucks into places like New York City and Philly, etc. Those places have a bad reputation, but I can be delivering let's say fast food products in the middle of the fucking night in the Bronx and feel perfectly safe and never get assaulted. Can do the same thing in Philly, or I can be stopped waiting in line outside a warehouse in Philly and not worry about being truck jacked or anything. And I think a lot of it's in people's heads, because if you have like 100,000 people and 2 of them were victims of violent crime, and then it goes up to like 4 or 6 or 8 out of 100,000, your crime rate has doubled or tripled, but it's still relatively low.
And also, downtown Los Angeles has been gentrified. And so you see a lot of man buns and people walking around with their Starbucks. It's not the downtown I remember at all. It's completely changed. This particular cop was just driving like an idiot. But like I've said since the day I've gone down there, I'm semi-impressed on how they cleaned up downtown LA. Semi-impressed.
Oh, those people who don't have to worry about getting a ticket because they're in a marked cop car while they're driving like a fucking idiot. I have actually seen that all over the place, on the highway, etc.
My favorite game, fireworks or gunshots. I live next to a freeway, and every time I hear a giant explosion, I know it's a big rig tire exploding. And it happens a lot more often than you'd think.
Yep, driving the roads, the remainders of big rig tires are all over the fucking place. And I've only had one blowout in my, um, I guess 2 years of commercial driving, and I have no fucking clue how that happened. But it just like it pops. You look back and you see the debris. You pull the fuck over. Although I have seen other trucks where the person tries riding on it because there's like a rest stop a mile away and they think that they can do that and they will cause extraordinary damage to their trucks if they do that.
There's people like that around here because I live like up the hill from my house is a huge trucking hub because it's one of the last in LA County, and like people try to make it there and you could hear them screeching up the freeway. Oh, hold on really quick. I think it's a
As the rims just screech all over the road, are they like shooting sparks yet?
well, we have because there's a major hub by my house, there's a CHP office like 2 exits from my house. So if they hear that, they'll get on you like white on rice because they're literally on the freeway. Like they're like one of their main offices is on the freeway next to a way station for trucks. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're worried about getting messed up, you aren't going to be focused on not being dumb and getting yourself in situations. I agree. I think it's the center console computer screen that the police looked at that's distracting them. I think so too. And this young man, when he looked at me, he had this bewildered look in his eye, like, oh, it wasn't like trying to be tough. He was kind of like trying to be cool and give me a look to see if I saw him driving like an idiot. And I'm old man just calling him out, like, oh, kid. I work in auto claims. So many people hit those tire pieces. Act exactly.
When I had my blowout, I actually might have run over. I'm not 100% sure, but I might have run over tire debris, which, you know, the steel belts from the tire might have punctured mine. I'm not entirely 100% sure.
And we say hooter because everybody I know who carried hooters, they always takes risks. The rest of us would never take because they have a hooter. So true. So true. You think you're John McClane, Last Action Hero. You think you're a tough guy. You do. We say hooter because we can't say, certain things on YouTube anymore.
Yes, YouTube, when we're saying hooters, we're talking about boobies.
And when we say boobies, we're talking about blue boobies, the bird. Oh, why did I do that? All right, here we go. Okay. All right, I'm debating, should I eat my torta first or should I make my stinky pants? Because that torta is sitting in the same room as me and it smells so good. I get excited thinking we're talking about boobs. Oh, I thought we were talking about owls. Eat the torta. Okay, we got to vote. Eat and enjoy torta. It's gonna take me a second.
Speaking of votes, right? I left the poll up on my channel long enough that probably instead of doing something serious, I'm gonna do a nice point and laugh. And I'm also gonna be like making a little 1 minute loop of people who've appeared live on my stream. Just as a little thanks.
Awesome.
And I'm going to be setting up a Discord so that, like some of the people who I know are not going to do things that cause YouTube to hate me or other people to hate me, I might bring some people on from the chat.
I love it. No matter what, you're gonna get haters, whether it's YouTube or somebody who doesn't agree with you. Just do what you feel is right.
No, I mean I don't want to bring someone on who's going to do like Hitler salutes. Because I've seen that actually happen where people had open panels and just random people that they hadn't seen in the chat before. They're like, here, and then they pop in and then they do something that could easily get you in trouble. Or they flash something, or I've seen that happen. That's why I'm going to set up a Discord.
First off, oh my word, this is beyond good. And second, I've seen it happen to Esther, the African humanist. I've seen it happen to other people. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. People do horrible things on stream. Having open rooms, unless you have really hardcore control over your chat, is scary. Oh, it was the best decision. That meat is unreal. Oh my gosh. Whatever restaurant this is, I shall be going. That's the whole point of these yuppie mixers and stuff, is to sell new businesses and stuff. Procrastinating the stinky pants. Do you know what's really funny, Pam? I've had that material for 2 or 3 weeks. I took it to the shop. I laid it completely out. I thought it was gone. When I started cutting it, it started outgassing even more. So they are officially the stinky pants. They have a petroleum, almost gasoline kind of smell to it. But I think it's the polymer it's made out of. Oh, the torta is absolutely... I'm so glad I made that decision. Plus, it'll give me... I could sit here longer. Because one of the reasons I always cut is because I eat like right before the stream and then I'm starving by the end. So no butt sniff. No. I bought the material because it was shiny. I had so many ideas. But now I really don't want to use it because it smells. Even today I had a talk with myself. I was like, dude, if this continues, like, because I wanted to use it for lining for my cape, but then I was like, I just have a stinky cape.
And I'm probably gonna have to take care of some things in the background that are brewing, elderly mom and such.
No worry.
I'll probably be back in.
Okay. Well, the link's open, so you can hop in at any time.
All right. Cool.
Oh man, it's time for some stinky pants. I've been talking about these things for what, like 2 weeks? The material stinks. It smells like an oil rig. I'm gonna do something about it. Oh, that torta was unworldly. Oh, that was good. Not unless you have gasoline. And usually I go nose blind to things, and I can still smell it. I can still smell these particular. It's the material. I'm gonna get it. I might have to wash my hands though, because that torta was really good. Oh my gosh, that torta was good. It's. My ex just subscribed to my YouTube channel. Do you know what you can do, Seraphim? like my sister would go on my channel and write the most homophobic stuff, so I just blocked it to where she can't say anything. And if she creates a sock account, I wouldn't even know because I'm just gonna block them anyways. So if you go on your channel, you can navigate, and that person can never speak. So they'll be subscribed, but you would never know that they're speaking. You just have to go in your YouTube studio. It's somewhere in there. But I perma blocked that person from ever talking, and it's worked because they've tried a few times. Oh man, that torta was good. All right, let me go get the stinky pants. All right. And I want to say, for the record, I lined these because I'm scared to put this against my bare skin. But look at the material. I've been procrastinating this for a while, too. Okay, good. My hands are not staining this. I might need more pins on that. If you lived in California, you can get a restraining order on a turnip. I wanted a decent. Oh, I'm still hungry. That sandwich was just amazing. I'm not even a torta guy, and that convinced me. Thank you. See, that's why I chose it in the first place. But it smells kind of like an oil rig. And the funny thing is, like I always say, like I'm nose blind, I can still smell this. And I just had a torta with a ton of onions, and I can still smell this material. Oh man, there we go. That's a little bit better. Let's see the comp. Okay. Do you know I got to downtown so early today? I got there before everybody else. It pays to be an early riser. I was there literally as they were opening the shops. Oh, man. I can already see 100 problems with this material. Oh, man, this is going to be an adventure. And remember, if the stinky pants are a failure, they're going to be stinky pajama pants. Oh, wow. Okay. That is really not lining up. Let's try that again. There we go. It hasn't got that far yet. Just sending him asking to contact me and meet police, say restraining order for no reason. He threw stuff at me and my cats. Isn't a reason enough? Yeah. If you lived in my state, that would be. Stretchy a bit. It's running. This material is running like a track star. Sorry. But you know what? This honestly is kind of a mock-up anyways, because I wanted to see what this material was made out of as far as being sewn. Because let's be real, this is a pretty funky material. All right, we've retired from sewing over pins. Okay, See, just that top layer, that was a little bit too much effort. But we're going to keep going. There we go. Oh, wow. Perfect. And the funny thing is, the more I punch into it, the more I can smell it. It ironically is outgassing. There we go. Oh, stinky pants. I wanted you to be a victory. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the foot on here. Now I'm wondering what the chances are that material is going to be too tight and send the wrong message. Godless in his hot, stinky pants. Maybe walking foot or a Teflon. I'm thinking so. I actually, in my Husqvarna, I actually have one because this is running. If it's not worth breaking the machine over stinky pants, I'm about to quit, Pam. I'm so glad you said that because I'm looking for a legitimate excuse to quit because I'm just going to line my cape. I guess you could sew them up and then donate to thrift. My thrift store, they check labels. They would put that, they would like throw that. All right. This is a disaster. This is going to go in the bad kids pile. I'm going to have to stop and think about that. But I have a million other projects that I could be working on. I'm just going to take a step back and think about it. This is gun-ho sewing. This is me not taking my time. I don't know if you can see, but it's already just a disaster. So I'm going to fold the whole thing and make it a stinky headscarf. That doesn't even sound right. That doesn't even sound right. Do you know what's funny? I've never donated material, but I might donate the stinky material to my local thrift store. Actually, I'll take it somewhere far so I don't have to see it. I know how Pam feels. Do you know what's really funny? I drafted my cape and like was wearing it within a day. All right, stinky pants. Oh, no one liked you. I tried stinky pants. Oh man. Oh. Oh. My pins kind of now my pins kind of smell kind of stinky too. Yikes. Okay. So stinky material is gonna go in the bad kid pile. And I'm gonna go grab my cape. Stop. Actually, I'm not high enough. That's the problem. I would totally wear that material as a hat, but the problem is it smells, and I don't want it near my skull. Because when you sweat, hats are personal. Like my cowboy hat has my smell to it, you know? And when you wear a hat after a while, it gets your smell. And you wouldn't want that stinky smell in combination with the other one. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Because I got high. Because all right, I gotta find the top and the bottom of my cape. I almost need to put arrows on this thing. And I barely cut the bottom, so I really have to find which side is which on this one. Do you know what makes me laugh? Because this looks purple. And I bought purple sequins today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm thinking about just putting a button. I need to line this, or I'm just gonna put a button right here. What should I do? Should I line it, or should I just put a button on it? Oh, now I have that song just blasting in my head. I should have put 1,000 more pins in the stinky material, but every time I stabbed it, it was leaving indents in it. So I was trying to not put too many pins in it in the first place. Because when I do, it creates an utter and complete mess. Let's see. Haberman's running for president. I know, I couldn't believe that when I saw that. You know what? There is something that I can do that needs help right now. Because I'm ADD. I'm going to switch it up. We'll finish the cape in a second. But there's definitely something that can be done. I need to finish lining my coat, and for some reason, I'm sorry, my sweater with the 90s material, and for some reason I have not. And tomorrow I'm going to go skating in the gym and show off all my stuff because I'm in the middle of making a pre-record right now. So I figured I should actually have a finished project. Because a lot of the times when you see me skating, if you look really close, like I haven't finished some of the buttons. It really depends on where I'm at. Awesome. That was almost a coffee tragedy. I've made so much stuff lately. Like I was getting all my stuff together for my video and I'm like, wow, it's been a while since I've made a pre-record because I have a ton of stuff I've been sewing. All right. Okay. I think that thing can handle it. I think we're going to find out what the sewing table is made out of today. Wrong angle. Well, so far it's holding up the Yay, Alibaba. Hello. Hey, Sydney, how's it going? Hello. Oh, I am going to take a quick break since my stinky pants were a disaster. But let's be real, no one liked the idea of the stinky pants. Everybody, Pam just told me to chuck them in the garbage, and I kind of agree. Yay! Hello, hello. I hope you're having a good evening. My first try was a debacle, but at first, if you don't succeed, try and get high again, or whatever the saying goes. However the saying goes. Yay! Hello, hello. Today's been crazy. I went downtown. I was literally there before everybody else. I met a new neighbor who had just happened to have a sewing table. She was so excited to get rid of it. She will be nice to me every time I see her now. She will be nice to me every time I see her. And I guarantee you, tomorrow I'm going to see her walking down my street. Because once you meet people, it becomes more personal. Well, I thought the fabric would off vent be okay over time. It really has not. And it's so strange to me because I had just those pieces in my living room. Because the other piece I put in my backside shed. And every time I walk in my living room, I can smell it. Put them in the backyard to ward off that. My cat will think that I'm mad at it or something. But you know what? One mistake in all the fabric that I've bought, I'm okay with that. I've purchased so much fabric just in the past month. And if I get burnt for that stinky fabric, that's okay. It's a great story. I now have a guy downtown. I'm okay with it. Got to take all the positives with it. All right, I can finish this. I was so excited for my stinky pants, but let's be real. They were doomed from the jump. And now I'm trying to think what I can use it with, but I really don't think I can use it with anything. And I can't even use it for lining or padding because eventually you'll smell it. Yay! I hope you're having a great night, Sydney. I hope everything's well. If anyone wants to join, just let me know. I'm just going to be lining this. I'm actually excited that I can put this table to the test right now. And we will find out if this table can hang in this room. So now you can wash them and see what happens to it. So true. I actually have a giant towel load that needs to go in after this stream. So I'm definitely going to do that. The chat is one step behind. Maybe it was treated with a spray. See if it beads water and not get wet. That's a really good idea. Do you know, I'm telling you, I did a little bit of an investigation today. It's near an old sweatshop. And like I said, I think they get a lot of their stuff from there. I kind of feel like those stores in front of that building are the remnants of that shop or whatever they gave to people. I don't know. It just seems to me like he's not getting replenished is what I'm saying. But he has so much stuff. He's probably sat there for years with that stuff. And that microfiber is from the 90s. That microfiber is old. All right. What? Oh, whoops. Wrong direction. What should I line my purple sequins with? It's semi-thin. Should I match colors? Because this came out perfect, but they're large sequins on here. My purple sequins are a little bit smaller. What should I line them with? Oh, right. So I'm going to cut these pieces. Let me move this jacket. It's a mess in here with that sewing table. All right, before I cut this. Oh, that's hilarious. Really have to look at several times visual and then see how you do. I agree because it's paper thin. But when it's folded, when it's behind something, it really shines. Folded in on itself, it looks great. All right. All right. I have to cut some strips. Let's take a quick break. Hold on. I forgot about this. Here, I'll put it over here. Free to a good home. That'll stay there for a while. I'm definitely going to add this to my sticker collection. I have a bunch of crazy sewing machine stickers underneath here. So this will definitely go to my my collection. I shouldn't wear this long enough though. Somebody might throw me in their van. I'm joking, kind of joking. All right. I have way too many cords. So I'm just gonna cut strips for this, and then I'm gonna finish lining. I love this microfiber material. I know I've been going off for it for a while, but it's stretchy. It has weight to it. Like when you line this with something, it really, really adds weight to it. Free to a good. I knew that would get a reaction. I knew that's going to be screenshot in a minute. This is why I guesstimate that most rolls are 46 yards, because I think this was the top of the roll. I am literally going to purchase that entire roll. I could be wrong though. It could be just 50 yards. Oh man, it's been this has been sitting there so long that it's like someone probably wrote that on there 20 years ago on here. Oh wow. Okay, I'm just gonna have to cut that piece out. You could put the stinky fabric in a clear bag and donate it to thrift. I was thinking about doing that, but I have to do it to a thrift store where no one knows me because I have one heck of a reputation. I have to uphold my smiley reputation. I don't want to become the stinky fabric guy. That would be hilarious, though. And they would call me out. Especially the thrift store that I go to. They're really involved in the neighborhood. They're good people. So I go there a lot because they're a program that helps people out. So I try to go there to one as much as possible. They would call me out. Okay, so I still love that fabric. This, I'm in love with it too. I tried to get him to sell me the whole roll, but he sobered up and gave me he was like, "Oh, you want the whole roll?" All of a sudden, all those friend prices went out the window, and it wasn't worth it. So if I buy it in increments, the math will always be in my favor because he gives me a ton of it. Even today, I filmed him, and I always ask for permission. So anybody who films anyone, If you can, ask for permission. I think it's crazy if you don't. But that's just my personal view. But he went out of his way to give me extra yardage. So every time I go there, this man's giving me extra yardage every single time. All right. That's a decent strip. Let me cut another piece. Oh, you think I should clean that? That's what the microfiber does to the blade. It slowly starts gunking up the blade. All right, I need a decent piece. There we go. Perfect strip. That's a perfect strip. I think he's going for the drug dealer approach, cheap to begin with, and then he jacks up the price. Well, if it was based on that principle, I've come back like 6 weeks in a row. All right, that's it. Next week, I'm not gonna go, just to prove to myself it's not a problem. Says every person who has a problem. What's the saying? I can quit anytime I want to. Okay, that's strip number 2. But he just gives me such good prices, I can't even turn them down. He gives me such unreal prices. And everywhere else, I have to negotiate, and he starts off low. That's why I was kind of like, when he told me how much he wanted for the roll, I was like, oh, dude. And you know what? Honestly, it's really not even that much, but like, it's the principle of it, because if you do the math, it was in his favor. And if I keep buying in increments, it's going to be always in my favor. Finally finished the alterations. Only took 2 weeks for 5 pieces. I'm like that. Like, there's like 2 things I'm procrastinating on right now. Right now. You'll quit when you're dead. That's what I say about sleep. I'm like, oh, I'll sleep when I die. Do you know what happens is I go to work at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm up about an hour before that. And then I'm groggy. I take my little cat naps during the day. But around 11 or 12 at night, I am wide awake. I am wide awake. This was a commissioned project. Did you have a time limit on it? Like right now, I'm doing something that doesn't have a time limit. And I have my blocks ready, but I really haven't started on it. Pam, all depends on the alterations. Just taking on the flower would be slow. Absolutely. It also depends on how many you're doing. You know, there's always a million different factors. Oh, right. I still want to know who that patch looks like. Kind of does look like Matthew McConaughey now. Oh. All right, let me even this out. The key to this mannequin is not pinning certain pieces together, because there's another shirt under here. Oh, right. Oh, really quickly, I want to show you guys something that's been really bothering me lately. Let me see if I can find it. Since this is a semi-entertainment show, let's see if I can find it really quickly. I'll switch my angle. There is this young man who is attempting to fake insanity to for a plea deal. He's literally yes, there was a time I had to tell them it wasn't ready, but they understand. That's awesome. Like for a wedding, just some t-shirts, bringing in the neckline. There is a young man who is faking and he's basically faking insanity. Let me see if I could. And it's been driving me crazy because look, I work with special needs adults. I work with people who actually need help from the system. And what happens is that people like this convolute the issue, clog the system, and everyone knows he's faking it, but they have to treat him like he's not. And I'm going to wear this until it falls off. And it's driving me insane. If he's doing that, he's not insane. He is fucked in the head. This young man, let me see if I can share this without audio because, oops, wrong one. I wrote it in my notes, so I'm gonna totally show it because this guy is faking it. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. It's, maybe it's me and I just don't understand the younger generation. Sorry, I'm just clicking buttons at this point. YSL poll. And the only reason I know of this guy is because he's become semi Twitter famous now because he's acting out in court. And like I said, what happens is he ends up convoluting the issue for people who actually have issues. We need institutions for people that really do have issues, but this young man is gigging out on purpose. I purposely took this sound off and it's not working. This kid's driving me crazy. This young man is faking it. He's doing this. It's a giant RICO case in Atlanta. I won't get into it too much, but this young man is now becoming famous for being a bad actor. He's done it in a bunch of different hearings, and it's insane. That's a mild one. I'll find another one later. But what happens is someone like that starts pretending, he starts acting, and then when they actually put him in the insane asylum, he's going to say, "I'm not crazy," because he has no rights at that point. He will lose all rights, and he doesn't understand that. It's not a generational thing. It's this guy's a dickhead thing. Oh, it's driving me crazy. But like I said, I work with special needs adults. I work with people who need help from the system, people that have cerebral palsy, people that have certain disabilities. And this guy's acting like an utter and complete arse. And you know what? People are pointing, excuse me, people are pointing and laughing. And what happens is that it continues to create a stigma, so people with disability have to defend this guy. As you can tell, I'm not impressed with this young man's antics. But that's enough real life. Let's get back to sewing. All right. I'm a hardcore advocate for people with disabilities. So if I see something, I'm going to say something, especially bad actors like that. Oh, right. I think a little bit later, if I go full Elvis, I'll show you another video. The one that just made me like run across the room. I forgot how fuzzy this microfiber stuff is. So I know Pam's working on her shirts right now. Is anybody else working on anything? I was working on a torta earlier, and that was the greatest thing I've had all day. Today, traffic in downtown wasn't as bad. I got some really good footage for my next video. It's going to be awesome. But like I said, I was up early, and people in Los Angeles do not rise early. So I was out early this morning, so there was barely any traffic on the road. All right. So far, so good. This table's holding up. It just has to be able to hold the weight of my mannequin and me dragging this thing in circles. I was thinking about replacing the top of this table, but I might keep it on here for a while because the base of my mannequin scratches surfaces. And like on my table, it really doesn't matter. But I really can't put this on top of sewing tables because it scratches the surface of my sewing tables. And I'm trying not to sing Boney M, but we all know what song stuck in my head. Oh man, this thing is not wanting to cooperate at all. That's okay. Oh man. Oh. Perfect. There we go. I finally caught a seam so I can start lining this up. I'm really curious on how old this material is because it definitely shows its age, and I feel like it's been sitting there for over 30 years just in this one particular spot. So you have like a virgin stuck in your head? No, but now I do. That song actually reminds me of early MTV. I don't want to age myself too hardcore, but when I first started watching MTV, that song was on every 5 minutes, to the point where I can literally sing that song word for word. Thank you, Kilroy. That's better than the other song I had in my head. You know what's really funny is I did not think that this project was going to be this intricate, but with this microfiber, it's it bunches up easily, so you really have to pay attention to it, because if not, it's going to bunch up in certain areas because it wants to curl at the bottom. I'm trying to naturally use that against it, but there we go. There's a seam. Perfect. Do you know, I laughed when I found the patch district in downtown because I ordered a patch on Amazon and they flaked on me today, and I tried to get all Karen, but then I forgot, regardless, you have to accept the package and then return it. So even if I was angry, I'd have to wait for the package and return it. But for the first time in a long time, Amazon Prime has flaked out on me, and it just makes me laugh. We pay for all these special services. They say, oh, this is extra, and really it's just the same service. You're just paying more. All right. And now I have Material Girl just blasting in my head. I hope that sticks. Oh, one of my cords came down, but that's easily fixable. So what should I do for my next project? I was thinking overalls. It's been a while since I've made a pair of overalls. I have like 3 or 4 overalls. I'm not going to use my Mimi G pattern because it's really complicated. And every time I've made overalls, I've just sat down and figured it out how to do it myself. And after I have my original blocks, now I can make them, But what material should I make my overalls out of? Make sure you've never made before. Something you've never made before. What should I make? I was thinking about going suit jackets, like suit style jackets, because I'm obsessed with jackets. But I've already made a million jackets. Should I start making doilies? Should I retire and start making sachets? Should I start making like real pants with the pockets? Suit jackets would be cool. At least they aren't Mimi G. That's not a bad idea. I'm definitely thinking about a suit jacket. Do you know, for a man, the patterns are limited, so I have to start thinking outside the box. I still want to make that crazy sweater I saw that rapper guy wearing. And it was literally just some fabric draped over on both sides with a hood. I definitely think I can make something like that. Oh, right. So, perfect. Perfect. A suit jacket would look great in that fabric. I have miles of it. That's not a bad. I really like that idea. I want to start experimenting with collars, but I've l- I've made over like I don't even want to know how many coats I've made or how many variations of that one pattern that I've made. So I think I need to step into something else. I think it's definitely time to step into something else because I've made a ton of other stuff, but then I fell in love with that pattern. Oh, right. So I have that completely around. So all my not tall people will understand what this is. This is my grabber arm. I have all kinds of stools, all kinds of fun stuff in this room for stuff I can't grab. But this wire is in the way and it needs to be put back. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right. I was wondering where you were, Skits. Yeah. Yeah, we're not all 6'2". We don't hit doorways. I built this house. This house is made for someone my height. This is a hobbit house. If you are 5'9" or shorter, you'd love my house. All my cabinets are reachable. So my little buddy wants to get into airsoft and wanted a gun. Damn, these things are freaking realistic. Oh, Skits, you haven't got into the airsoft world? I refused to have one in my house because they look too real. They look like real fire hooters. And it's just another world to sink a bunch of money into. When Isaiah was really into Nerf, um, I don't even know how much money I spent. I have a $200 Nerf gun in this room because my son was into Nerf, and I bought him a really expensive Nerf gun that he now doesn't use. But for $200, that thing is gonna sit here, and we're gonna be hanging out for a while. Okay, let me pin this. Oof. There we go. I'm not tall either, but I can touch my craft room ceiling. I like that. You see, I like that. I think Skits has the right for everything in his house to be geared to his height, just as in my house, everything is hobbit height. Oh, right. I like that, Pam. I like that. I wish I could touch the ceiling. I'm average height around the world, but I live in a land of giants. So everybody around here is like 6 feet tall. I was a paintball. I was a paintballer. Not realistic about that. Nothing realistic about that. I agree. If you take the orange cap off, they look like the real thing. Oh heck yes. See, that's what I'm saying. I never wanted one of those in my house. I didn't even want to promote that with my son, and I'm pretty like loosey goosey with stuff like that. I got him an M9 airsoft. Looks and feels like a real one. As Kilroy said, it's all the orange tip. That's just crazy. It has the same weight and everything. That's crazy. I have airsoft guns from the 1970s, and they look real, but they look like 3030s because they're old. And everybody wanted to be a cowboy back then. Oh my. Makes it difficult for all my stuff though. Not enough wall space. That is true. I have just in this room, I have stuff in the rafters right above where my Klingon vest is. There's a shelf, and I have all the empty boxes of all the stuff I've purchased from thrift stores, like all the sewing machines, everything in that realm. There's something you could make, a cowboy outfit. Do you know one of the reasons I haven't gotten to that pattern is because I haven't got the pattern paper yet. And part of me just wants to be blasphemous and cut that pattern up. Because I have a feeling I'm going to make that jacket a million times. And that cowboy jacket is kind of right up my alley. So I think it's time for me to do that. I literally walk in this room and stare at it every time I sit down. All right, perfect. That is my look. Speaking of which, it makes me laugh when I go downtown and not one person speaks a word of English to me because of my cowboy hat. And some people are happy that I speak Spanish, and other people are like, "Oh, your Spanish is terrible. I will speak English to you, mere mortal." Oh, it makes me laugh. It's all depends on the person and their tolerance. Because I do have I speak English first, Twain, in my Spanish. Okay. You can use sew and interface to trace patterns. You know, I was thinking about doing that. I'm trying not to be lazy about it because I want to preserve that pattern. Because I have utterly and completely poked through the Mimi G pattern. And those patterns, I think I've said this before. The Mimi G pattern, the overall one was $25. And then the coat one, I think, was like $20 or something crazy. Because usually I buy the McCalls that are $3. So I've got my money's worth, is what I'm trying to say. All right. I guess I can use this. I really don't want to destroy that pattern. That's why I've been so reluctant on it. But once I start making it, I'm gonna make it 100 times. I have a feeling, especially because I have all that hardcore denim. I want to make my cowboy jacket while I still have all that denim, and I'm just remembering how much I have. I think I can make a pair of pants and basically the entire outfit. Oh, right. Perfect. It's not just getting your money's worth if it is replaceable. That's true. That is true. I've used the heck out of it. Excuse me. I just thought patterns were a little bit cheaper. But when you get into like the fashion designer patterns or people that are sponsored, you're paying real money for the patterns. It just made me laugh because they literally put them next to the 99 cent to $3 patterns, you know? I have an overalls pattern that I cut. Now I don't have to size the option to change sizes. Now I don't have the option to change sizes. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. That's another thing. My weight does go up and down. My weight goes up and down all the time. So something that fit me 2 years ago will not necessarily fit me, or vice versa. All right. It's not a precision cut. I have to figure out how far that is. We'll say this. You guys are giving me a lot of really good ideas. I have been hoarding that flamenco print. Sorry, I think I hear coyotes in the distance. That's not a good sign. That's not a good thing. I had the door cracked open because it looks like we're going to get another storm. And it's weirdly humid here. Oh, right. I think I'm almost done with this thing. Now, all right, let me take this down. What do you do when you make your overalls now, Pam? Do you just stick to the same templates that you've had? Like, I have an old vest template, but it's so big, I don't even wear vests that big anymore. So I kind of just let it collect dust. I've made the overalls shorts, long socks, and a vest. Yep, you're from. It's my default skits. It's literally like I didn't know what to wear, and I'm like, wow, it's muggy too. It's my excuse. The long socks can't be exclusive to California. Oh. All right. Okay. So we're gonna move this first. I might end up putting the sewing table in the garage in the living room. Plus, I need another overambitious piece of furniture in my living room. Okay, let's clear the table. I hope everyone's having a great night. I want to thank you for sewing with me. One of the reasons I started doing this, because this is what I would be doing on a Saturday. My son is with my ex-wife on the weekends, and I stay at home and mind my own business, and so especially on the weekends, it's when I can get things done. That's why when I used to release a video every week, they would come out on Sundays because I had just enough time to make a video. Absolutely, Skits. Yes, just continue to use it. My size hasn't changed much. It's just options to make for someone else. Okay. Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Relatively speaking, I stay in the same size. But my weight does go up and down depending on what time of year it is. Okay. Wow, look what that microfiber did to this blade. It's hilarious how fuzzy this gets. That's why I have to clean my sewing machine out almost every time I work with this stuff. But it's worth it because I've kind of fallen in love with the microfibers. Keep a master and pattern and make adjusted copies of that one. That's a really good idea. The template that's changed the most, oh man, it's a sweaty evening, is my pant size. That's the template that goes up and down the most. But those are easy. For me, they're easier to adjust on the fly. Well, not the fly, on the fly. Oh. And I still have a ton of sequin material as well in purple and blue. I'm trying to think what I could I'm really thinking about making something intricate. Like on the Boney M cape, he has sequin writing on there, but I would literally have to cut out every single letter. Drafted by eye to a new size. Creepy Uncle Zoe talked about his pants size. I want to be able to do that good. Absolutely, me too. Are you kidding me? Kilroy, I stand in front of my house with a beater on just to keep the property value down. All right. Oh, that reminds me, they had their weird mixer behind my house. I did exactly what you asked of me, Kilroy. I blew some extra dank over the fence. We'll see if it works or not. All right, let me move all these phones. Okay. That's a dangerous move. I'll cover my coffee. We'll see if I'll remember that it's there. All right, let's finally finish this project. I'm so ADD sewing. I have literally 6 or 7 projects going on at once. And there's always 1 or 2 little details that I've missed. So it's good to almost be completely done with this one. Perfect. All right. Let me check really quickly. Awesome. Do you know, lately I have been so all over the place that I keep on forgetting to finish these projects. Smoking a lot of green a day makes the yuppies go away. You have. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The problem is, one of the reasons too, though, is that I say the word overambitious, but people do not realize the Herculean task it comes in owning a house. So, okay, you bought a house, but you still have all the other expenses that comes with it. I really wonder what happened to the yuppie number. Perfect. It's true, Alibaba. It's true. My neighborhood is weirdly pretentious, but the neighborhood's changing because the demographics are changing. But, it's just different yuppies, same problem. And plus, I need to meet my next neighbors behind me because I need a new fence. So I have to be nice to these people so we can cooperate and build a fence, an extremely high one. Oh, right. People just look at mortgages versus their rent and think a house is cheaper. What they don't realize is that you have to add taxes, maintenance, and unexpected repairs on the top of that mortgage. And like when a freaking whatever, it was downgraded from a hurricane when it hit California, but nobody was ready for it. Even I had leaking through a ceiling fan. I had to crawl in my roof to find out what the problem was. It's because my house wasn't ready for torrential downpour, because it doesn't even rain like that during the winter here. So yeah, it was an unexpected expense because I had to patch it. Perfect. Awesome. It happens a lot around here, though. People, they buy houses not realizing what they're getting themselves into. And the same people walking their dog down the street are going to be the same people gone 6 months from now. Right. California houses are basically army tents compared to our houses. Oh, I was not ready for this storm in ways I didn't even realize, because it doesn't happen. We don't have weather like that. I had to replace even stuff in my truck needed replacement. Oh man. Because a lot of this stuff are original parts on the 88, and it doesn't rain enough to even know that I needed new plastic around the edge of the windows and everything. All right. Almost done with this last piece. No worries, Alibaba. I will be here. Almost done with this last piece. Perfect. That's in place. All right, let's take a look. I always say reinforce your seams, but I say it for a reason, because I do not like to go back and fix all my mistakes. So that's me literally reminding myself. And plus it's catchy. All right. Yeah, next week I think I'm not going to go to downtown. I say that, but I probably won't. I am so sorry, Sydney. I am so sorry. I've actually had quite a few family members pass away in the past couple of years. So I understand. And for anyone who's seen my living room, it's literally my grandma's old living room. Most of the furniture, well, not the couches, but most of the stuff was hers. I am so sorry, Sydney. Oh. So sorry. Oh, what now I gotta check the bottom of these seams so nothing comes in case I missed, because I literally just flopped this piece over. I am so sorry, Sydney. You know, it's been a rough 2 weeks. And if you're listening, you are on my mind. And I hope you're doing well. Ooh. All right, let's finish this piece. Do you know we've had the craziest? We're having like almost monsoonal hurricane weather, because this morning when I was in downtown, it went from like 70 something degrees to 90 before 9 o'clock this morning, and then it was just cloud covered while it was still 90 degrees. All right. What should I call this fabric? The Santee Alley Special? Downtown Magic? Oh, the weather has been crazy lately here. Just today, it went from cold to hot to hurricane weather. And I know 70 degrees is not cold, but to me, if it's 70, I'm wearing long sleeves. I'm a desert dweller. People think that's a joke. Like, I live in the desert. I'm used to extremely hot weather. Like, even right now, it is summertime in this room. I'm like a lizard with a heat lamp above my head. Oh, that's gross. I'm so sorry. Where are you again, Sydney? If you don't mind me asking. I want to say Mississippi, but I know that's not right. And it's 63 where Kilroy is. It's 63 here, and I have. Do you know what's funny? If it was 63, oh, Alabama. Okay, I would at least have a light sweater on. Because in the 50s, I'm shaking. Alabama. Okay. I've actually been to Alabama, but it was more of a driving through than hanging out. There's the other piece. Do you know, a lot of people have things to say about every single state, but I think every state has its merits and has its downfall, you know? Has its detractors, as they say. Because people are always like, oh, this place is the best, or this place is the best. I know someone who lives in Chicago that thinks it's the greatest place on earth. So I guess it's all perspective. Because when I went to Alabama, most people were actually really nice to me. I know it's the southern thing, but People were really nice to me. Only good thing in Alabama is the bee. I'm telling you, I don't care if you're fake. If you're nice to me, I'm going to be like, hey, there's some nice people. They're faker than a $3 bill, but at least they were nice to me. And for the most part, Alabamians, do you know a lot of it was people, everybody asked me what part of California I was from because of my plates. So everybody's like, where are you from? Where are you from? Knowing that they've already seen my plates. Or I open my mouth and they're like, oh, where are you from? Because you don't sound like you're from here. Just like downtown LA, I was scared to go down there, and it wasn't as bad, anywhere near as bad as people said that it was. Still to this day, videos pop up in my feed of people driving around downtown LA's. Oh, look at this human devastation, man. I don't know which streets you're driving on. So sometimes the stigma isn't what it seems unless you go to Louisiana, and then the stigma, everything they say about Louisiana is real. I just got a lifetime ban from Louisiana. But Louisiana is the only place I've ever been where I'm like, okay, every stereotype here is real. That and Atlanta, Georgia. But besides that, everywhere else, people were extremely hospitable and nice. And again, Atlanta is a major city. It's a big hub, you know? So it has the same issues that any major city would. And it just bothers me because I always hear people say things about California, and like anywhere else, California is humongous. Where Skits lives and I live, two completely different planets, you know? Country yokels love to pick out the ones or two streets that are a dump and pretend whole cities. Thank you. Or there's this one guy I watch in Chicago. I'm not kidding you. He gets off the freeway because I've watched him. He does a loop around this one neighborhood in Chicago. And I'm like, that does not reflect the entire city. He does this same thing in Philadelphia and somewhere else. Like he goes to all these places. And I'm like, dude, you're just doing circles around the same neighborhood. I used to live close to Atlanta. Do you know, Atlanta is the only place I've ever been where people were aggressively walking up to me, telling me how beautiful I am. Atlanta was no joke. Atlanta was no joke. Even people in North Carolina were nice. People in South Carolina were nice. Atlanta was just a different planet unto its own. But you know, I'm coming from the West Coast perspective. Pick your hometown, okay? Wherever you're from, when you leave your hometown and you start heading in towards America, you lose 10 years. No matter where you're from. I don't care if you're from Alabama, you go to Chicago. It's a different world, you know? All right, so let's try this thing on. See how it looks. Let me switch my camera for more dramatic effect. Wrong one. You know, America's huge. I try to, as someone who's traveled a lot, even around America, I try to tell people it's not as bad as you think it is. I recently watched a video about a black man going to Sturgis, and he's like, you know, there's this big stereotype that all these bikers don't want people there, and he videotaped him and a bunch of his friends. I think they came from South Carolina, and they went all the way to Sturgis, and they had the time of their life. Nobody had a problem with them whatsoever. And these guys were patched up. No one cared. Everybody was there just to ride motorcycles, you know. But there's this huge stigma that in Sturgis, if you are anybody who's not a biker, you can't go there. And that's not necessarily true. So I love it when stereotypes get busted like that. Except for you, Louisiana. I'm looking at you. Oh, this is so perfect. I should be a microfiber salesperson at this point. Okay. I am officially finished with this. I have the giant hood that makes me look smaller than I am. I love how this came out. And I finally edged it so no more frayed edges or anything. It looks perfect. This is something I'm going to wear all winter long. This is something that's going to end up sitting in my car because I'm going to end up throwing it on every time I get in my car or something. I love how this came out. So, what should I make next? I'm thinking about putting handles on my cape, but I don't know. That hood is not. Just in case I need to start smuggling, I have a bunch of jackets. I'm kidding, YouTube. I'm kidding. Good grief. Oh, whoops. I love it when a plan comes together, to quote the A-Team. But this is perfect. And I finally edged it so I have no frayed edges or anything. I love this Santee Alley material. When I first saw this, I knew this was going to come out into something spectacular. I knew this was going to turn into something that I was going to fall in love with. This material is exactly what I was looking for. And it smells like my laundry soap too. Darth Santee Alley. I like that. Okay. That's like 8.0. 8.0. I like that. Darth Santee Alley. Do it. You don't need to buy those weird. Today I almost bought a like arcade version of Street Fighter that you plug in your TV, but they wanted $200 for it. And she's like, "Oh, it has 2,000 games on it." And I'm like, "There's no way for me to prove that." Thank you, Sydney. Thank you. And if you feel like hiding, you can totally hide in this hood. You could camp in this. This is definitely something that I actually could pass out in this. If you sat on the couch and put this over your head, you're letting people know that you're done. Awesome. Oh, it's getting a little hot. And for anyone who wants to know, I lined it with my Waverly pattern material. Watch this fully hold on. Watch this fully operational sewing station. Isaiah would totally be down to fight me with lightsabers. Totally. Isaiah would totally be down. We could totally have that fight. On the Death Star, I'll be Darth Vader and the Evil Emperor wrapped in one. With flower print. Who says you can't be a villain and have style at the same time? Come on. Oh, this is perfect. One of the reasons I make the hood so huge is because I really was not satisfied with the way that most hoods look. I like a really dramatic long hood, and most hoods do not. They they're made in a standard way unless you buy more of a designer sweatshirt, that specifically comes with a giant hood, because there are oversized hoods, but nothing that's this size. You can do it with the goggles. Lots of Bond villains had style. Goldfinger, that's right. That's right. Goldfinger had a ton of style. That's right. That was such a good movie. Oh. Oh. How's it going, Robert X? Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. There's gold in your hoodie. Don't start that rumor. People are going to chase me around and it'll just. Did you see the sheer terror in my eyes? I was like, oh, don't start that rumor. You're going to get me jumped. Hey, Robert, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, that hood is humongous. Oh, come on. Okay, good. That charger works. Yay. Hello, hello. Now we just need to knock all your teeth out and then you can be Jaws. No, still got him. No, thank you. I actually watched the first 2 episodes of Lower Decks today. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give it away, but the knocked out teeth thing totally reminded me of Lower Decks. I needed that show. I needed Lower Decks back. I forgot how much I'm starved for Star Trek right now. And I watched Lower Decks today and I was like, I need this back in my life. And I know it's a weirdly controversial show and not everybody likes it, but I love Lower Decks. Yay! Just waking up. Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. So, for childhood cancer awareness, absolutely. Absolutely. There's gold in your hoodie. Absolutely. I have a ton of stuff that has gold in it. Oh, good. Just woke up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Charger, are you working? Okay, good. So I'm trying to think on what I should work on next. Do you know, I brought the mannequins back out. I brought this mannequin back in my life because I feel like, because let's be real, I use them as dress forms. My mannequins are Godless Sewing LLC employees. And this one was trapped behind the flag. So I got rid of my air tank and I brought this back. Because I actually use this as a dress form and it works. So now I have 3 mannequins that I could work on. And they're all my exact height, so it's perfect. So I can stand and look at them eye to eye. I think that it was yesterday that Star Trek's first episode played 57 years ago. It was awesome. It was awesome. I watched this special today too. I think that's what gave me the feels, was watching all the Star Trek, just all the old school stuff. And I started rewatching Deep Space Nine for the 100th time. So I'm immersed in it right now. They are my employees. You know what? My mannequins are the greatest employees I've ever had. They never whine or complain. I can leave them out in the sun for hours. They don't say a word. I can leave them in the backyard. They don't say a word to me. Thinks he is a star. It's the Godless Sewing staff. You know, it's my staff. They're great employees, terrible assistants. But if you think about it, dress forms are expensive. Let's go to Google and let's do an investigation of how much just dress forms are in general. Okay, dress form, $427.99, $657 for a full body mannequin. And these are dress forms, the kind that are made for sewing. Oh, totally, Sydney. I'm an equal opportunity employer. The plastic ones suck. They're selling a full body plastic one for $600. $295. I can get a dress form at Target? I didn't know. What planet? It's because I don't shop for these things. 67 is okay, I bet. Yeah, they're beautiful. For that much money, though, you're getting a full body mannequin. That is you could literally choose which size you want. But the prices are unreal. So I have my 3 beautiful employees here, my plastic army, and they're perfect for sewing. They're absolutely perfect for sewing. Hard to find the metal core padded ones. I have yet to see a metal core one that is going for less than $350. And that's just Top Glance. That's literally just Top Glance on Amazon. What about the one that's 119? It's not like I need another one, but do you think the Amazon dress forms are up to par? Or would I just be playing myself? Because there's quite a few things I've ordered on Amazon, and some of it is not what's advertised at all. When I was young, we used to visit my aunt on Sundays, and that was the day Star Trek was on air where I lived. But my nephew wanted to watch Tarzan, which airs at the same time. Oh, that's so funny. Star Trek outlived Tarzan, though, Robert. Star Trek way outlived Tarzan. It was too scary. I have trauma when thinking about Tarzan. Tarzan was scary. Kilroy talks about Hawaii Five-0, and I started watching it, and it reminded me how scary that show is. Okay, it's not like I need another mannequin. I'm literally Googling mannequins. Splish Splash, I was taking a bath on a Saturday night, huh? Let me get away from that. I bet you could go downtown and find... Oh, that's so true. Or a bootleg one. That is so true, Kilroy. That's a really good idea. You're right. That's so funny. Star Trek is so mellow. It puts me out. There's some basic ones for super treat, but they're meant to be formed to you, padded out. Oh, okay. Because I've seen people, and I'm like, how did you get that professional dress form? But now that I saw that, it might have been something off of Amazon. Hawaii Five-0 is intense. There's a local channel that I watch while I'm sewing because I do not sleep at night. And they literally go from the 1950s to the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. And I always end up during the 80s hour. And when I was a kid, I used to watch a ton of Airwolf and Magnum PI. So whenever I see Magnum PI on TV, I watch it because it brings me back. Quincy, yep. But now I have the Magnum PI song stuck in my head. Maybe I should be a private investigator, hang it all up. Sewing the investigator, sewing PI. Sequins for hire. Working title. I was obsessed with that in Airwolf as a kid. That's why it made me laugh when my son started dressing like Magnum PI with the Hawaiian shirts. And I think it's his mustache and the Hawaiian shirts and his hat. And his 1980s fro popping out of his hat. Oh, there's another pen. Good, I found you before it found me. So, should I add a button to this? I was thinking about just adding a button right here. I like the red. I think I'm just going to have the red stick out. Should I add a button right here? Or keep it as is? Where's my phone? Kilroy's throwing gold bars in the chat. Instead of Casablanca, Singer Blanca. I like that. You know, I'm obsessed with that with Casablanca. So handles, yes, this definitely needs handles. But should I put my dad videotaped Star Trek on Betamax? Yes, I'm that old. I still have the tapes and the Betamax VCR died years ago. Robert, you totally reminded me. I have quite a few VCRs in here, and recently they all kind of seemed like they went out at once. And I bought a VCR cleaner on Amazon, and it worked. I watched Star Trek. I was about to say No Country for Old Men. Oh my, Undiscovered Country. I watched Undiscovered Country last night, and it reminded me how much I loved that movie. And I'm old enough to have seen that in the movie theaters. I think that a button would detract from the maybe Velcro. I do have a ton of Velcro in this room. I just haven't had much success because it's sticky, and when you try to sew it, it literally gets your sewing needle sticky, and you have to, put some Windex or boiling water on it. And I am that dad from my big fat Greek wedding, so I think Windex solves every problem. I like how that shines. See, with something like this, I don't want to mess it up, so I try not to add too much to it, because when you start adding too much, when you start doing extra, is when you start messing up your own projects. And this definitely fits the godless sewing motif. This definitely fits the godless sewing look. You can get a regular non-sticky Velcro pads and rolls on it. I was thinking about that too. I have a ton of stuff in here. I just need to find it. Do you know what's funny, Robert X? I have in this room about 200 or 300 Columbia House Star Trek VHS tapes. Some are from back in the day when I was actually in Columbia House, and others are from stuff that I've bought, over the years. All right, so we have a no vote on the button. Yeah, I was looking for something that wouldn't stick out either, because this thing shines. That was definitely something I was looking for today in downtown. Now that I know my bearings, I kind of buy less because I know what I'm looking for and I know the price, even though I went crazy at the Pat shop today. That is true. You know what my thing is? I want to be able to walk around with this without a safety pin on, because the safety pin really takes away from how hard you worked on something. That's one of the reasons I add buttons to all my capes, because I want to be able to wear them while riding my skates. Yeah, this one's definitely going to need handles. Let's make some handles, huh? What color should I make them? Red? Stop making me jealous. I have a huge Star Trek collection. Do you know how mad I was when DVDs are getting phased out? I have hundreds of DVDs. All right, let's take a quick break. I'm going to open up a Singer Star Trek camera museum. Well, excuse me. They also make industrial Velcro that you can hold more than any button ever could. I need something like that because I wear everything I make. I wear everything, even my mistakes. I still wear those abominable pleather pants. I still wear my embarrassing pleather pants. They look like they look like motocross pants. They look like very terribly made motocross pants. The handles should be of the glitter fabric or similar color. I still have both. I still have the red and I have a mile of the glitter, because the guy who sold me this was not impressed. The guy who sold me I bet Godless could do stand up just by telling stories. Do you know I hold back a lot of my stories? I do. But that's why I call it my Seinfeld, because that's basically what it is. It's me observing things and being like, am I the only one that smells that? Am I the only one that sees that? Because people live in denial, and there's something inside of me where I just say I speak. I speak before I think. He laughs so much when he tells stories. He'd already have a good chance. People would get tired of my diabolical laugh. But when I bought this, the guy gave me exactly 4 yards. He was so unimpressed with my godless patches, it wasn't even funny. And it didn't even dawn on me. Do you know, the guy was talking to me, okay? And he kept on saying, how are you? And I said, I'm great. How are you? And he kept on saying, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And I was like, oh, okay, blessed. Can I get 4 yards, please? And he respectfully cut out 4 yards. He gave me the price. He added the taxes, which I thought was weird. But then it dawned on me that my godless sewing patches were distracting him because he kept on saying, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Let me tell you, like, whatever your affiliation is, that's cool. I'm cool with you. Like, I have no problem with anybody, whatever their affiliation is. I just want to buy fabric. That is literally what I came there to do. And this guy got really political. So I'm going to wear something less angry next time I go down there. I get a weird reception from people. I get a weird reception. I just know that the smartest person in my country, but everybody else is the. Thank you. That's the name of my next t-shirt. I'm right and everybody else is wrong. Do you know what's really funny? When people say that, I'm like, do you know there's a common denominator in there and you're skipping right past it? But I really do not know what to line this stuff with because this is see-through. Like, you can't see the LA in my, oh yeah, you can. You can see the LA in my hat. But the other stuff is 10 times more thick than this. So I really don't know what to put in here. Or what to line this with, I should say. But the guy really wasn't impressed at all. And he was trying to be rude to me, but I just ignored it. I'm like, bro, I just want the fabric. But I have 4 yards of that. And you know, even with the actual 4 yards, it's still a ton of fabric. Smart people think they're stupid and stupid people think they're smart. One of my favorite sayings is, no, it's an old country song. Too stupid for New York and too ugly for LA. So this guy totally treated me different because of my godless patches, and it's been a while. He was so mad. And the truth is, like, I'm just there for fabric. I don't care what your affiliation is. People are funny that way. So next time I go, I'll wear like, what do I have that's not offensive? Oh, that's right. Nothing. It shocks me how some people think they stupid me. Do you know, whenever I worked front line or a service job, I was polite to everybody, no matter who they were, what they were doing, what they were dressed like, what they smelled like. I really didn't care, you know? And it's changed. Today's world's changed. And I smelled like CK1 and money. You might have to scope out a new place. Well, not the original place that I go to, the guy loves me. When I go there, the one that I buy, the Santee Alley fabric, he will literally do anything for me. Like, he was like, bro, you tell me, I will climb to the rafters and get whatever fabric you want. When I go into a shop where someone doesn't know me, they're kind of reluctant, you know? You would make another cape, no need to line it. So I shouldn't, but it's kind of thin though. Like, this material is like, it's weirdly thin because I have really good lighting in here because I have a lamp directly above my head. So that is with it backed, and this is with nothing behind it. You can see my face in a way. I guess people do like things that thin. I just have raw Rasputin stuck in my head again. Because I went looking for a matching purple material and I really couldn't find anything that was satisfactory or anything that like I was I could live with. Let's just put it that way. Especially when you're making something like that, you have to think ahead because I have things in here, but sometimes they won't necessarily be what I need them to be. I am going to make a giant cape with this. I am going to make a giant cape. I just haven't decided the shape or if I want to write designs on it because I have a ton of sequins now. Touch for the very first time. Stuck in my head again. Thank you. For that fabric, most of the time, there's matching solid in the inner layers. I think I'm going to have to do that. But like I said, I have fallen in love with how this made this kind of purple. And that's just red and blue combined. Oh, excuse me. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I wonder if you could back it with a metallic looking one. Ooh. Do you know what's really funny? Those are cheaper too. The metallic sequins are cheaper because they print that loud color more than the other colors, at least downtown. Just a lightweight purple solid would work. Do you know what's really funny, Pam? I couldn't find anything because the purples I found were like this really, it wasn't anything I was looking for. And everything I found was kind of cheap. So I went to my local Walmart and they had no purple. I mean, they were completely sold out of purple. Remind me of I Dream of Jeannie outfit. I still watch that show. I still watch I Dream of Jeannie. It comes on TV around here. I still watch that show. As a matter of fact, that's like one of the shows that comes on in the middle of the night around here. I have a feeling that God is Ceiling could make like a virgin cape believable. I could lie. I could back it with some of that silver fabric that they use for alien outfits. I found some today. It was pink and metallic, and I was like, no, I can't do this. But at that same store, and if that guy had been nice, I probably would have spent more money. Now that I think about it, if that guy was nice, I probably would have come home with something like that. I want something gaudy like that. Like they remind me of like old raver pants, or there was this one wrestler that would wear these silver, like bright disco pants like that. It was actually Tommy Dreamer in one of his phases. I like the solid type though. I have seen some. Might be easy or hard to get. The pink would go with the purple, just saying. Do you know, I see that material and honestly, I don't even ask for the price because it looks so expensive. There's certain stuff where I'm like, I'm not going to spend $15-20 a yard unless I really know what I'm going to make for something, because I'm getting killer deals right now. I'm getting $2 a yard, $3 a yard, but I really want that metallic material though. You're a chick maggot. Nobody would believe. Well, the ladies are a little bit more nice to me when I go downtown with my cowboy hat on. They say, "Can I help you, Jefe?" And I say, "Of course you can. Of course you can help, El Jefe, Senor Sewing." Maybe I... Oh, thank you, Sydney. Thank you. I'm going to screenshot that one. But women are much nicer to me than men are. That was my whole point. I am not an angry person. I do not approach people angry, and I always forget that like my biker vest literally says F you on it. So when I walk up to people, they're just like, what are you in here for? You're a fabric store. Figure it out. When you fix a sewing machine, you install a pussy magnet. I promise I won't. I won't. We're just having a good time on a Saturday night. That's all. We're just having a good time. The lady at the patch shop, she looks like she wanted to like take me in the back and literally tie me up and steal me. Speaking of which, who does this patch? So this patch reminds me of that guy from Princess Bride, where Inigo Montoya was like, you are the man with 6 fingers. That's what it is. He looks like the man with 6 fingers. And this is a giant patch. As like, this is, let's see, I can tell you the exact size. This is 7 inches, and you can see the size and the difference. All right. We're just here to have a good time, Sydney. I'm showing off my Jesus patches that I bought. I need to find out the name of that guy. I need to stop calling him the guy who killed Inigo Montoya's father. Boy, you know exactly how old I am when I'm quoting Princess Bride. Marriage. So I'm officially in my sequin era. What should I make next? Like, and also, I was thinking about wrapping a hat. I was really thinking about wrapping a hat in sequins, but that takes a lot of effort. Speaking of which, I forgot I had this. The mosquitoes have been crazy this time of year. I want to make a better one of these. But this thing works. But I need a better one because look, they don't make these for big heads. So I'm thinking about completely revamping this thing. This is perfect for the backyard. This is perfect. It's got the net that comes all the way around the neck and everything. Just spray the hat with some contact adhesive and throw a handful of sequins on it. I was actually thinking about doing that. That's exactly what I was thinking about doing. I have a ton of contact adhesive too. As you can tell by my general demeanor, I work with adhesives. I'm kidding. Kind of not. I kind of am, kind of not. Make the purple sheer sequin one. I agree. Oh, a purple sheer sequin net with a hat. Oh, that is some fashion designer stuff. I do like that. See, I need some out of the box stuff. Has anyone ever made gloves before? Love that idea. I really love that idea. Come on, we all know you huff it. I wish I had the lung capacity, man. I wish I had the lung capacity. Oh, man, huffers. That is so 1980s. Rah, rah, Rasputin. I'm trying to think. Okay, so I'm going to make a giant gaudy cape with this. But I need to find the light color. Okay, good. Basic consensus. I like it. I know some glove makers, but I've only fixed gloves. The reason I'm asking is because when you make gloves, do or do you not just line up your template, whatever it is, and then just cut around it and make sure it fits? gloves do not seem difficult to me. You just sew around the fingers. But I could be wrong. It could be my arrogance of thinking I can sew anything. And then I'll have some janky gloves. But I'm definitely going to give it a try with my Santee Alley fabric. Because I'm definitely going to go outside the box. But now that I think of sequin gloves, it makes me think of Michael Jackson. Oh, damn it. I have to I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm looking at the man in the mirror stuck in my head. Give me a quick second. All right. Okay. Janky Gloves sounds like a strain or an acid jazz band. I like that. My next acid jazz band will be called Janky Gloves. Next on the stage, Janky Gloves. I like that. That's a working title. I really like that. The build depends on the cut for the glove parts. Some are 3-part with finger edges. Do you know, I think I have leather gloves. I have driving gloves because I put them on when my hands are cold. I know I live in California, judge me. But during the winter, I wear riding gloves to be extra dramatic. So somewhere in here, I have leather gloves. Do you know, last week when I made this cape, I literally just not even lining it up properly. I cut the cape and set it and shaped it, you know? So my next cape, I'm really going to work on the template underneath because now that I know what I'm doing, it's a lot easier. Driving gloves are also useful when it's hot and the wheel gets dangerous to touch. That's true. We put those weird reflective things in, you know, which makes me laugh because it has the smooth edge for the car, but then it's reflective for everything outside of the car. So if you're standing next to the car, you literally see the beams of the sun. All right. But our gloves, like, you know what? I'm just gonna start trying to make some, and I bought a bunch of really cheap lining at Walmart, so I'll just start making them and see what happens. I want to be able to make, you know, gloves, hat, the whole deal, depending on the situation. I was thinking about wrapping this in the stinky material. But I don't want to mess up my hat. But this would be the perfect hat for the stinky material because this is my Erykah Badu hat. But it's well, gosh, it just screams. It screams Jamiroquai. Even though I did Google him and he is a piece of work. But I was thinking about wrapping this in the and yes, I did line my hat. I was thinking about wrapping that in the stinky material just to give it that shiny look. But after working with it, I think I would really have to pull that material. Your head's stinky enough. I told you, hats are personal. Hats are extremely personal. You look like Gunny Sergeant Hartman in that hat. I made that. I am so proud of that hat. I am so proud of that hat. I put that thing on any chance I can get because I'm like, I made this hat. I love that hat. There's a lot of YouTube channels on how to make gloves. I think I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's how oh, what is his name? I can't believe I forgot his name. Oh, is it the Quilting Cowboy? That's how I found the Quilting Cowboy. Oh, I missed that. I really missed that guy's channel. Yeah, that's the Quilting Cowboy. I was looking for certain tutorials for a caftan, and in a lot of ways, if you look back at my caftan video, I copied his video. Not like word for word, but I literally just did everything that he did in his video. I was a rookie back then. Oh man, it's a mess in here already. All right, so I have a vote for gloves. I'm definitely gonna make some gloves. I promise you, I will not go all night this evening. I promise you. I know those 5-hour streams start to drag after a while. I will not keep you all evening. All right, let me get my notes. We got YSL Polo acting crazy. The cop that swerved into my lane. I literally have video proof for that. That one's going to be fun. In my notes, I literally wrote Amazon is trash. Make a yellow polka dot bikini for you to wear next summer. Deal. I won't sleep anyways. I'm the same. I do not sleep at night. Make a Speedo. Deal. Deal. I bet if I put that in the title, people would tune in just to see what level of crazy I'm at. But if I made Speedos, I would wear them over my pants like a superhero. Just sorry. Or like a wrestler. Ooh, I need to write that down. I need to quit BSing and I need to make a singlet. Make a singlet. Thank you. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you. I sort of made one once. Oh, now I have. They wore a teeny weeny itsy beeny. What? How does it go? Teeny weeny itsy bitsy yellow bikini, something like that. That's not a bad idea. Okay, I'll make some Speedos, but I'm gonna make them like wrestler, like Ultimate Warrior size, where the waist comes up to your belly button. What are those called? Wrestling shorts, pants? Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna make Speedos, a singlet, and a polka dot bikini. Deal. I have enough yellow to literally run the yellow fabric road. That's another thing. Okay, so let's have a talk. With a zoot suit, isn't it just the breast piece? Like it comes up to your ribs and then it's all just back tail, isn't it? For the top of a zoot suit. Yeah, Robert, it's time. I think it's time for me to make a yellow polka dot bikini. Because I bought all of that yellow with full intentions of making a zoot suit. Then I was watching a bunch of Cab Calloway videos, and his suit comes up to half his torso, and the tail goes down to his shoes. And that was early Cab Calloway. But in the Janet Jackson video, he has a giant yellow suit on. But I feel like that's the 1990s version of a zoot suit. Because in all the old school Cab Calloway videos, which are hard to find because he's not necessarily held up the highest in certain African American circles, he's kind of considered kind of not necessarily a sellout, but a product of his time. So a lot of people do not promote his stuff. So I went out looking for Cab Calloway stuff, and I only found it in certain circles. And from what I found in videos that I've seen him actually performing in, the jacket only goes mid torso, and then the tail goes all the way down. And that's easy to make. I'm like, oh, I could make one of those in 10 minutes. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I rambled long enough for you to wake up and join the show. A zoot suit should come down to the halfway of up the ankle. Baggy pants, too. That's what I thought. So it's the baggy pants all the way up with the jacket. So the pants basically take up where the jacket is. I have enough material for both. I really like that look. I think it's because I've watched that Janet Jackson All Right video too much. Well, Sydney, earlier I was eating a torta and it was the greatest thing on planet Earth. I'm going to have to find out what food vendor that came from. Someone was kind enough to drop food off at my house, and I had one of the greatest tortas I've ever had in my life. Spoiler, I really don't eat tortas. Because it's not even that, oh, it's not my culture, just was never really my thing. I grew up eating more Mexican food. So that torta was amazing. Dressed like the man in the yellow hat from Curious George. He has the greatest outfit. Do you know his outfit almost looks like the Kill Bill outfit? It looks like the Kill Bill outfit. I have the cowboy hat. I had a steak for dinner. It was my mom's birthday. Awesome. Tell mom we all said happy birthday. Happy birthday. Awesome. When I go out with my mom, she usually wants me to be the designated driver because there's a restaurant by my house that serves schooners of margaritas. Awesome. Our moms are around the same age. Awesome. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday. Pam, I really like that idea. I have probably 16 yards of yellow. I have an insane happy birthday. I have an insane amount of yellow. And I have that beautiful flower. I have to do a fabric haul on myself again to remind all the beautiful stuff that I've purchased just in the past month. Because I put it to where I can look at it every time I sit down just to remind myself. Better than drive-through daiquiris. Do you know, and keep in mind, this was in 1999 when I lived in Arizona. It was 1999, 2000. When I lived in Arizona, they had legal drive-through liquor stores. She's a typical Jewish mom. I already know what you're saying. My mom nitpicks me to the point of insanity. My mom is close. She's Roman Catholic. She's close. When I lived in Arizona, they had drive-through liquor stores, and I'll never forget when, the second year I lived there, on the news they were like, I wonder why we have the highest DUI rates in per capita in America. It's because you have drive-through liquor stores that give you ice in a cup. Doesn't take a rocket scientist. She makes you feel guilty no matter what. My mom's like that too. Rule number one, it's always your fault. Oh, that's funny. So I'm going for gloves, the Cab Calloway suit, a steak, and happy birthday, Mom. Let me go grab my Stanley Cup real quick. I need a water break. All right. Awesome. We have we have liquor stores everywhere in the US, too. And you need a car to get around unless you live in New York City. So true. I always thought about that too. We do. Even where I live, we have liquor stores everywhere. There's an activist guy that I used to watch. He said, in America, we have a liquor store on every corner, and in the UK, they have a bookstore on every corner, and it's true. It's extremely true. All right, so I got gloves. I'm definitely going to go back to my cape making. I still want to line up. Excuse me. So with my blue sequins, should I just cut out the G and the S using my shapes? Where are my shapes? Oh, here they are. So I want to add the G and the S. Well, it's backwards anyways. I want to add the G and the S to my cape. These are the exact shapes of the lettering on my cape. So I think I'm just going to cut this out in sequins and throw it on there. Because that was a whole point. When I saw the Boney M video, I loved how his cape shined. Waffle House also. Oh, gosh. You guys are killing me. There's going to be a photo of me sitting in Denny's by myself after this. And the colonialists drank like fish. After George Washington's inauguration party, they put bathtubs of whiskey outside his house to get the people to get out. Holy cow. I'm going to try that at my next party. Get out. Awesome. I'm only gonna go for another I'm only gonna go for like another 20 minutes because I got a lot done, and tomorrow I have to finish my pre-record. It's been about a month because I've discovered the joy of just hitting go live and being able to sew online. I'm trying, all right? I'm trying, okay? Unless you want to hop in, I'm going to be jumping out soon. Because I'm at the cleanup point. I should start doing that while I'm sitting around here, huh? I am going full Elvis this evening, I guess. I've made a complete mess in here. I'm sorry, but those sequins shine. Oh. Now that I know what I'm doing, as far as making a cape, I'm going to make quite a few capes, so brace yourself. I think I should go back to making my Erykah Badu hats. I still have a ton of it was like a weird backing. I don't even know what to call it. But I have a ton of it, so I definitely should start making hats again. For all of my pickers and enthusiasts, I have tons of hats like this. I have a ton of LA Time hats. I wonder how many cigarettes someone had to smoke for this hat. I got this at a thrift store years ago. Oh, right. Tomorrow, though, I'm trying to go to the gym so I can finish my video. I forgot about this free to a good home. But I'm always so exhausted by the time it comes that I end up just going on Phoenix's stream. I was wondering why you quit making videos. You know what? And also, YouTube has completely sabotaged me. Like, it'll say in my YouTube studios, like, oh, you have 600 views, you have 700 views, and it won't show it on YouTube. Something has happened where my channel is just completely under attack, and I was just kind of like, what can I do? What can I really do? But going live just gives me more of a chance, before they take my channel down. But I'm working on a extravaganza of a video right now. And as the days go longer, the video is going to grow because now I have this table. I recently purchased my brother's sewing machine. I have quite a few new patches. So this one's going to be Godless Sewing the movie. I just haven't had time with the beginning of the school year and everything, but I want to get back to making videos. If I wore ball caps, I'd wear the hell out of that camel hat. I knew you'd like that. I knew you would like that, Gilroy. That's a lot of camel bucks right there. Whenever I see nicotine affiliated products in the store, I buy them because I know someone passed away for those. I also have a Marlboro sweater, and every time I wear it, it really makes me wonder how many cigarettes someone smoked for that. It's a corduroy Marlboro pullover. It's actually really well made. I want to be in the movie. If you lived any closer, I would definitely put you in the movie. It's gonna take me a couple of days to finish it, though. Hopefully, it'll be out by Monday. But I have to start getting back to my pre-records because I love making those. But I've also been busy at work too. So I don't have time to prance around in the gym. I have to, even though I don't act like it, I am a semi-functioning, responsible adult. All right. I did go a little crazy at the patch shop today. Just a little bit. I'm going to switch around a bunch of vests. I really think I'm going to put Jesus in the middle of my Godless Sewing vest just to further confuse people. Oh, man, it is a mess in here. You go crazy in every shop. I do. Do you know what it is? Like, you'll never see me go in the Louis Vuitton store and go crazy. I'm not gonna go. I go crazy in the 99-cent store and in the fashion district. I go crazy in places where I go crazy within my means. All right. All right, I'm gonna open up my door real quick because that is gonna go back in the living room where it was. Oh, right. Do you know how amazingly light these things are without having a sewing machine in them? It's so much easier to move without having a sewing machine in here. Oh. I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy. It's simple. I'm like, oh man. All right, that's most of the mess. Have a great night, Joy. I'll be back on Monday. I'm going to be making a cape. It was great to see you. Thank you so much for coming by. All right. Okay, have a great night, Joy. I'll be back at it on Monday. I think I am going to rearrange my Godless Sewing vest. All right. I'm going to continue to do my live streams, but I'm trying to get back to my pre-record videos. Oh. Because that's what built this channel, you know, and I'm not just going to run away from that. Oh. Do you know what I think we've accomplished quite a few things this evening. I'll be back at it. I will be back at it tomorrow with Phoenix if Phoenix is around. Usually I stream on Sundays with Phoenix. And I'll be back on Monday, same time, same bad channel. I'm trying to think. I'm working on my pre-record right now. You got to give me a second. I'm a bit rusty, but I have some great footage. I taped myself driving through downtown. I got a little bit of the Patch District, but surprise to nobody, a lot of the businesses have a no recording sign. So I can't be the first person that's walked down there with a video camera. They're like, no TikTok. They're anti-video camera on this particular side of downtown, which makes me laugh because the other side really wants you to promote it. But where I was, every shop I walked into had a no camera sign, which means that they've had a problem. But I've been rambling for 3.5 hours. Oh, and we definitely found out that Star Trek is way better than Tarzan. I agree. I'll be back at it. Next week. I'll be back at it tomorrow, hopefully. Well, if I'm awake. But like I said, I'm making a pre-record. I have a community tab out right now. I'll be at it, and I'll be back in a couple of days. So, like I always say, thank you so much for watching this stream. I'll be back at it on Monday. And until then, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I'll be back at it on Monday. Bye.